With so much going on in the world, we are in uncertain times, and on today's show, we have the perfect person to talk about it with.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. But if you're new to us, we are the Boeckle Brothers. I'm Jesse.
And I'm Landon.
And we're located here in Las Vegas, where we run a real estate investment company as well as a full-service brokerage. We have actually done about 325 flips in the last few years, and our channel is dedicated to teaching you a lot about real estate and real estate education. But today is a little special day.
Yeah, we have a super special guest today. You probably recognize him from his YouTube channel, Spencer Cornelia. What's up, brother?
Thanks for having me. Got to represent Las Vegas.
Yeah,
yes, sir, dude. It's good to have you here.
Love that. Love that.
Loving the setup.
Thank you. Thank you. We're kind of improving it as we go.
This is another avenue of investing, right? We could talk real estate or stocks or whatever, but investing in a different venture.
Oh, yeah. We're here to pick your brain today on your YouTube channel. You're growing like crazy. Tell us a little bit about where you started and where you're going with it.
Sure. So YouTube was started in 2015, and I was just trying to throw pasta against the wall, right? Trying to figure out what niche mattered to me or what worked. And in 2019, thankfully, I came across this world of internet gurus.
There we go.
Nice.
And nothing was the same.
Yeah.
And it took off from there.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, right from the first video I released in a series called Authentic or Charlatan, which is a series I started at that time where I just wanted to do an objective look at all these guys telling everyone how they're going to teach you how to make millions.
Right.
And I didn't know much about them. And so that's why I wanted to be objective. Just try to fill in the gaps if there were gaps. And right away I found out, it's not as it seems. And then as I released a few videos, then people start reaching out. Oh, you won't believe about this. And since then, it's just been an overwhelming sense of everyone reaching out with all the kind of the shady stuff done in the social media world.
Yeah. And you're growing like crazy lately.
20,000 subs is kind of on the low end per month.
That's amazing.
So as a percentage, just 5% per month at this point. And then the waves of YouTube, it could get to about 50,000 a month in growth by the end of this year, because you generally have waves throughout the year.
Congrats, dude.
Thanks.
Awesome.
It's pretty humbling, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get recognized in public, which is like a weird experience.
Yeah. It's definitely weird now.
Because they're giving you like a little bit of you're like,
I've seen that.
Dude, there's like an arrogance though that you get, unfortunately, with growing on a social media. And you know, out in life, you run into someone and you catch eyes and just an extra second, and then you both go your own way. Yeah. But when you get a little bigger, you immediately think, oh, he probably watches my videos. Yeah. That's like a very selfish. Yeah, but it's not the case.
But you're assuming all of that.
Yeah, you're assuming it because they give you that extra look. But I don't know if that's normal.
You just might have something on your face. Like,
man, that guy's hair's really ugly.
Yeah, man. So that's awesome. I mean, obviously, we're trying to grow our channel. It's moving up slowly but surely, so we're excited about that.
It was so funny that day I texted you, and I was like, I had the random thought, like, man, the Boeckle Brothers need to look at some of these big houses and analyze it from, because I know you guys do luxury flips. Right. Maybe give your insight into what it would take to flip a house like that. And I go on your channel, and you did it with Steve Aoki, and I was like, oh, man, you already thinking it before me.
Dude, we're taking all suggestions from the people that are doing it better than us and growing faster than us.
What'll be the key, though, is if you ever get to do it in person and you get a little mix of maybe Inez, who does the walkthroughs with no one there, and then maybe, just maybe, if you could get linked up and have them walk you through, like, I actually wanted to do this room because of this. I mean, that would be crazy valuable.
Always. I think the in-person, in-the-field stuff is just so cool to watch. Yeah.
If you could get us into any celebrity homes, let us know and we'll be there.
I'm not there yet, but I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. It might not be that long from now either.
True.
So working through like some trending topics now, I mean, that's kind of what you're focusing on. Has your channel, it looks like you've transitioned over the years. There was some real estate content a little while back, then it went to like the exposure content, and now it's trending, high level topics. How's that? Why the transitions in that way? Because I know you're still super interested in real estate, but you steered away from it on your channel.
The market tells me what I should make. Yeah. Really. I mean, I put so much work into it. If I'm going to do a certain topic that gets 10,000 views versus another topic that gets 100,000, and obviously assuming both are similar positive feedback, right? If people are liking both the same, you're just more incentivized to go with option B. And so that's kind of what has happened over the years. You kind of course correct as you go, and you put out a video and maybe people don't like it. You put out another video, people like it. Okay, maybe that content. Then you try to figure out what was it about that content. Was it the topic? Was it jokes I told? And so I've kind of navigated into the more trending news. It works better for views. It's a little easier on me as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's because a lot of the stuff is already like quote unquote researched. Yeah. It's more for me to package together and make it into an interesting video.
Okay.
Maybe add some jokes, make it entertaining. So if you think about it, if a topic comes out, war obviously is on everyone's mind right now. There's 100 people talking about war. why would you go versus one person versus another? Well, maybe because over time you've appreciated their humor, or they always give
style.
the most objective viewpoint, or whatever that goes with your vision.
Yeah.
You appreciate them. So that's what I think YouTube has become, is if you can become the guy that packages together a lot of news stories, and if someone wants a specific story, they don't have to do the research of reading 10 articles.
They just go watch you.
They just watch me.
Yeah.
So
They like your way. Of
exactly.
saying
So I think that's the way YouTube is becoming. It's taken over TV. It's taken over all other different types of media. Everyone's watching YouTube.
right.
Yeah. So you're still doing a lot of real estate. You're still heavily invested in real estate. It's definitely an interest of yours still, as we were talking about earlier. How do you think the war is going to affect the real estate market?
I'm really fascinated to see if people drop prices, if they're like, oh, pandemonium could happen, chaos, I need to sell right away, even though I don't believe it's going to affect us at all in any way. I'm interested to see if buyers maybe start to close off a little bit, because they're having a hard time buying right now. There's not that many buyers, I would assume. It doesn't seem like there's that many buyers.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at the market, so there's 2,500 homes on the market, townhome, single family, and condos here in Las Vegas as of this week, which is less than 3 weeks of inventory. It's like 3 weeks of inventory, something like that. So super low. But of course, with the war, the Fed's going to want to raise the interest rates a little bit faster to offset the inflation. So interest rates rising, will that cause a big pullback from buyers? I don't know.
I don't even like calling this war.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that a country is attacking another country, but this is just some idiot like
conflict.
Going and trying.
Right.
Yeah, this is a conflict, and it seems very personal to Russia and their leaders and their people. Like, it doesn't seem like anything that needs to be like kind of. I know it's terrible, but like, let's not call it World War III quite yet, at least.
I saw something super interesting, just for a topic of conversation, on Reddit, where someone mentioned that, I'm not familiar with this, but Russia went to Bitcoin mining and was heavy invested in Bitcoin. Like, what happens if the U.S. puts sanctions on Bitcoin that you can't transact with other countries? I mean, what if the crypto... So anyway, we're talking about real estate. I think real estate is going to continue to rise. Stock market is down. What if the cryptocurrency market has some type of upheaval or some sort?
Yeah.
Real estate's pretty darn stable, right? For the most part, it's pretty stable.
sure.
Las Vegas, we have Airbnb becoming legalized.
Yeah.
No inventory. So if you've got money, and I know you guys are high earners. I'm now entering into this kind of high earner level, and now I'm understanding that it's not about chasing yield. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I've got cash. I don't like the stock market.
Totally.
I don't want to do crypto. So real estate it is.
Right.
And this is what's on the market. I'm just going to buy that.
And that's the caveat to it all, is typically, from what I've understood, is historically when countries go into war, the markets become much more volatile. So people take their money and put it into hard assets, which of course is real estate. So
One of the biggest things being gold and silver.
gold,
as well.
silver, and then real estate, of course. So, with low inventory, what we see is still high demand. Buyers may be slowing down a little bit with fear or panic or interest rates rising slightly. But in general, when a country goes to war, the markets get volatile and people put their money into hard assets, which is exactly what you're saying. I have all this money laying around. Last thing I want to do is put it into a volatile stock market.
Yeah.
So I might as well buy as many homes as I possibly can with it.
And over history, look, we're talking a long period of time here. Real estate has only appreciated.
Yeah.
Yes, there's been cycles, just like a YouTube channel has cycles, and it comes up and it goes down. But over time, real estate is one of the safest things you can buy is land. They're not making any more of it.
Yeah.
Do you have any data on like hedge fund buyers in Las Vegas, or the idea of like institutional buyers coming here? Is there a percentage?
Data-wise, I don't know exactly, but we do have a little bit of experience with that, and we've seen them buying like crazy.
I've heard it's going to even increase. Yeah. That's why I think there's no supply. You have more money coming into the market. You have more demand. I was told yesterday from a conversation in the real estate industry that the supply will not match demand at the current construction levels for 10 years.
Right,
Wow.
right. Nationally,
in Las Vegas. I don't know if it's national or Las Vegas.
I've
Either
heard
way,
some of
I'm
that
sure
nationally.
Yeah. So how are we not gonna keep rising?
Right.
Yeah. And then I just saw this week, the Nevada governor, Sisolak, they just implemented a $550 million home as possible, pretty much, grant for new home buyers. So now they're helping, once again, new home buyers with affordability, because they've obviously been priced out of the market. So having another $550 million in grant money to go to new home buyers it's just going to suck up more
It's
inventory.
going to bring more buyers to the market. Sure.
Well, and the price appreciation shouldn't really be a factor if you're a buy and holder, right? That's a benefit. You should be buying for cash flow or various reasons. But for me now, I buy for tax reasons. That's going to be my biggest ROI.
Same.
I'm actually curious, is that a strategy you're implementing this year?
Very much so. Yeah. I think as you kind of get into the space and like talk to other people who do own a lot of, whether it's single family or multifamily, but they own investment properties, some of the least important things to them are the fact that it's cash flowing. Like, obviously, they're going to make sure it does, but they're literally buying these things for tax reasons and depreciation. That's probably the biggest benefit they get by doing it.
Which is interesting because growing up and thinking about real estate and being younger in the business, it's like, oh, I want to own a bunch of rental properties so that I can make $100,000 a month in cash flow.
Leave my job. That's the bigger pockets part.
Freedom.
Now we're learning we only want to buy rental property so we don't have to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to the government in taxes this year. And
it's like an added bonus that it cash flows.
As long as it cash flows $1 and pays the maintenance.
Right.
Sure. But the maintenance and the plumbing and all that, so you don't have to come out of pocket.
Yeah. And obviously you want it to cash flow a little bit, but I mean, it's more for tax purposes, which is something that we're kind of just learning. So our biggest goal this year is to buy anywhere between like 15 and 20 single family units so we can offset those taxes.
Because flipping generates so much active income, so much ordinary income that we've got to do something. I mean, we have an office, we have some employees, we have some equipment and supplies, but like that comes nowhere near what we need in tax write-offs and reducing our taxable income on a yearly basis. So it has to be like big chunks with properties to depreciate those.
How many is there going to be a percentage for Airbnb?
So we're trying to buy right now. We have 3 properties that are Airbnb that we're going full force into not only just Airbnb, but setting them up for permanent Airbnbs, licensed Airbnbs. So that's something.
All of them.
Yeah, that's something we're working. That's something we're working really hard on right now because there's a big difference, and I think there's going to be an even larger difference between a permitted unit and a non-permitted unit come midsummer when they start giving out licenses.
Right.
Because what I think is going to happen is the people who are permitted are going to start cracking down on those that are not permitted to try to get those hit by the city and shut down right away.
The city makes money now, right? So they're going to increase their code enforcement, whatever they have to do on the illegal ones, because they want those. They're happy to have those legal ones now because they're paying them.
Yeah. And the people who are legal don't want the illegal ones around because they don't have to pay the taxes or pay the city, ordinance fees or anything like that. And it creates more supply and demand. Lower supply. If all the illegals are gone, there's only so many permits going out. So it's going to increase the revenue per permitted unit. So we're working super hard on getting as many permitted Airbnbs as we can by like July.
Smart.
What do you think about, so like owning an Airbnb, managing it yourself versus having property management?
I'm at the point now where all my investments need to be passive. YouTube is my growth vehicle. And it's weird as you're growing. I was hella broke 2 years ago. No car, couldn't afford new shoes. And you're oh man, this property will cash flow $1,000, man. And then you start growing on YouTube and you're like, dude, for my time, it needs to be cash flowing like $5,000, $10,000 a month just because of how quickly YouTube can grow. And so what interests me most about Airbnb is the fact that I can offload management. I'm also interested in starting my own property management company because I think with the reach I have, I need to start doing a better job of monetizing off platform with some type of service. And I thought, what better way than to possibly have some type of offering for investors that could buy an Airbnb in Vegas. Everything's turnkey. So that's what drives me to do that. My current model is house hacking, rent by the room.
Got it.
And so I have 3 houses right now, 17 tenants. If you count myself, because I pay myself rent to occupy my room, that's technically 18 rooms. Well, it becomes not time intensive because I've gotten it systematized now. However, with how important my time is for YouTube, if it causes me 2 hours on a day, on the wrong day, that's very damaging. Right? So for most people, 2 hours a week or 2 hours a month, it's like the cash flow to time is like insane. But now, thankfully, with the income I'm earning from YouTube, I need to start like putting stuff. Well, I need to start valuing paying money out. So, but I'm not yet at the scale. I probably cash flow net like $3,500, $4,000 a month from the properties. So if I hire someone full time, I'm not making any money. So I'm in this weird gray zone where I'm not. I can't really justify hiring someone full time, and I'm not good at hiring like part time. I don't know how that would work. So I'd like to grow the portfolio this year. My goal is I'm at 3 properties now. Ideally getting at least another 3 this year to be at 6 at the end of the year. And then it would be nice to reach a point where I can start offloading the management.
I think, though, we've experienced some similar dilemma, whether it's in our business, in our flipping business, in our brokerage business, where you kind of feel slightly stuck. You're kind of like in purgatory.
Yes.
Where, okay, great, I have something great going, but I obviously want to take it to a farther level. But at this point, I don't feel like I can put necessary pieces in place because I'm not at that level. The fact of the matter is we've gone around circles with this is you have to just bite the bullet. You can't wonder whether chicken or the egg type of thing. You have to put the people in place because they will allow you to get there. Right. The only way to get there actually is to put those people and pieces in place. Otherwise, you'll kind of stay in that purgatory for much, not forever, but much longer than you need to.
Yeah, because if you want to buy another couple this year, you're not going to be able to do that and manage all 6 on your own and focus on your Airbnb business or your YouTube business. You know, that's not going to happen. So putting them in place now, losing a little bit of cash flow up front, will, in my mind, allow you to scale that to maybe even more than 6 within the year. Because if it becomes that easy, all you have to do is look for and buy properties, which is the ultimate goal. You know, maybe 6 is a limiting mentality for how many you want to do this year, because you're thinking, how much time do I have to spend on it versus who can I put in place to take it over? And all I have to focus on is buying more just like that.
Agreed. Yeah. My investing strategy is I actually take every dollar. Like, I'm hella broke. I'm very, very frugal.
Yeah.
Because I'm still interested in investing every dollar.
Sure.
So basically with the real estate, it's like the second money comes in, I look on the market, what's the best in the market?
Yeah.
Let me buy that.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's my strategy, at least.
That's like kind of a Grant Cardone mentality. He's like, he doesn't want any money.
No.
If he's got the money to buy something,
yeah,
he puts it into a property.
Yeah. So if anything happens, you have plenty of time to recover from it too. So what's the worst that's going to happen, you know? So maybe we need to adopt a little bit more of that mentality of.
I would say, honestly, I was just about to toot our own horn for a little bit. Honestly, like for the last few years, we've been growing a business, and maybe from the outside in, like it is generating a good amount of revenue and it's doing well and it's experiencing growth year over year. But we definitely have not matched that with our compensation. We've been fairly frugal for the past 5 years about it. To be honest, like if you have a company that's doing a couple $1 million and we were paying ourselves, just be fully transparent with everybody out there, for the last like 4 years before literally last year, we were paying ourselves like 60, 65,000.
Is that through an S Corp?
It's through 2 S Corps, but it's not comparable at all when you look at how much revenue this company is generating. So like the owners are actually being fairly smart about this and not kind of milking the company dry.
Yeah, we definitely don't overpay ourselves and do dumb, buy dumb things with our money. That's for sure. I mean, we're putting everything out right now into real estate.
We put it back into the company. What can the company buy for itself and for us?
Yeah.
That's what we did. We just reinvest it.
Yeah.
There's not really any reason to buy material items. Like, I'm not driven by that. Like certain clothing, I guess the experiences, if you can afford that level. The private jets is something I want. Like to be able to fly private jets. I mean, of course, that'd be nice. That to me is why you pursue money, is to have luxury in that regard, as opposed to like buying a fleet of cars that you never drive, stuff like that.
We don't have that high a level of needs, and based on what we pay ourselves and where we're sitting right now, our needs are more than met. So
and as long as you don't get into bad businesses, some of my videos YouTube is about like why athletes go broke, and unfortunately these guys are targets, right? Everyone's got a business idea, and instead of investing in something they know, which clearly you guys have something it's like real estate, just money goes into that.
Yeah.
It's these guys don't really have anything, so it's like, one thing in real estate, and then another guy's got a restaurant, and
they extend themselves.
Today's video is about an NFT. It's like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Why are you getting an NFT?
Keep it simple.
You're making $28 million a year. Like, why are you spending time on that?
Right.
Yeah.
This last week, we actually went and toured a 3-time NBA champion's house here in Vegas.
We don't have to drop his name.
No, we want to drop his name. Looking to buy it cash as an investment property here in town. But man, this is someone that, 3-time repeat champion, and he's not living great. You met the guy. He's a little bit down and out.
Do you feel like it's a discount? Is that why you're coming in with cash?
Oh, it would definitely be a discount. Yeah.
Severe.
So we'll be offering like 1.6, 1.65 for the property. It probably needs $600,000 in rehab.
It's a big property.
It's extremely neglected, which is mind-boggling to me that someone at this stature could live in a property and treat their assets this way,
or at least like own it, even if he doesn't live there. Like own it and let it go into such disrepair.
Was it the primary?
Wasn't.
It's not. No.
So it was rented for a number of years, and that's kind of where it was just maybe out of sight, out of mind, and just kind of let it go.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So we'll buy it for 1.6, 1.65. It's probably needs 500,000-600,000 in rehab, and then it's worth, in my mind, about probably 3 to 3.5, if depending on how good of a job we do.
And you'd hold. You try to refi out and hold.
I think that would be a flip.
We'd flip it.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd flip it.
No,
okay.
we'd flip it.
There's too much meat on the bone there, too.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be cool to maybe explore the high-end rentals like that.
Do you have aspirations of holding property at that level?
I don't know. Honestly, I really like holding property at a level that's really affordable no matter the economic situation, because almost anyone can afford to rent $1,000 place.
I feel like you buy
place.
those if you need huge tax write-offs.
Yeah.
Where if something doesn't work out, you can let it sit for 6 months. It's kind of like if you want a Ferrari, you need to be able to own 5.
Yeah.
Because you need to be able to have it sit for a month and not drive it and not be like, oh, wow, I just wasted. And you like look at the bank statement.
Wasted $4,500 on that.
Oh, my God. If you're stressing about that.
Finance.
But if you can do cost seg on a $3 million property, I mean.
Sure. There's huge tax benefits for that. Yeah, absolutely.
I was talking to Josh Galindo the other day. He came to my meetup last week, I think. And he was talking about how he has a building of a certain price point, and it allows him to cost seg, and then a certain amount of income is deducted. It's like, oh man, this is a game changer.
I know. We were talking to him. He was on here a couple of months ago, and he finally was able to buy that his office building, which has multiple tenants in it. It's got like a car repair business in it. He has his office in it, and I think there's 1 or 2 more tenants in the building. But that's so cool to be able to do.
So walk me through your YouTube. What are your plans with YouTube for the next year?
That's a great question, man.
I actually don't like looking out past like 6 months. So the better question is like the next 6 months.
Sure. So far it's been, I'd say I'm happy with it. I'm very, very blessed with it, but it hasn't gotten to levels where we really feel like we have momentum yet. So we've been very consistent, and I guess we've proven to ourselves that we can do it. So it was obviously a big daunting task. We're going to start this channel. We want to get to the monetization level.
Did you go buy ice cream the other night with your $5?
We bought
Chipotle burrito.
one Chipotle burrito and split it because that's all we can afford.
That's about all we got.
But that's in our minds. That was a major milestone, just to be able to say we want to go do this and then be able to achieve.
Yeah, it's funny. Right. Sometimes there'll be like a multimillionaire, and he like goes and talks to a girl, and he's like the happiest in the world. Yeah. And then a guy who has the ability to talk to girls is looking at like, wait,
dude,
what?
I do this every day.
Yeah. What?
I know.
But you guys, to me, it's like that. I'm very transparent about numbers. So I made 24 in January. I'm pacing for 28 in February.
Wow.
And then with the way the waves are, it's possible that I'll hit 100K month by the end of the year. So I'm at the kind of the tip of the top food chain. But it's funny. It's like I would love to do huge real estate. So I'm like, man, teach me your secrets. But
and that's what we were saying is like, in my mind, it took us 9 months to monetize, and then we saw like $1.50 come in, and it's like that felt better than like flipping a house for like a $20,000 profit, because we've done that so many times over the last 5 years, and it's like, yeah, 20K profit, whatever, but working hard and consistently for 9 months and seeing like $1.50 come in felt better than a profit.
I will tell you, the reach and the connections that can be made is probably the biggest upside, especially since you've got a business that's profitable over here.
Yeah.
The YouTube income is what it is.
Yeah.
But for me, it's kind of blowing my mind, like how many people you have access to, the people that will reach out. And now that I have the reach that I have, people are incentivized to maybe change the narrative with me, where now I'm like, whoa, confronted with people actually, like you're sensing you're the one with value, and you're looking at them, you're like, dude, you're a celebrity.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to reach out and tell their side of the story.
It feels strange, doesn't it?
Yes, I'm kind of the middleman sharing their story to the public because they know the reach.
Yeah.
It's kind of like traditional media. If you're an athlete and you want to go on ESPN, you go on ESPN because they have the biggest reach.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you become the channel with the biggest reach, then they go to you.
Right.
Just because of
it's crazy
how many people are watching.
Yeah, I think for us, so our social media is based around, educating people and coaching people on how to flip and invest in real estate from scratch, or if you're already flipping homes, how to scale that business to a multi-million-dollar business like we have. That's kind of what we're using our platforms for right now. So I don't know if we're as focused on like, we want to make 20K a month from YouTube as much as it is. We want to grow our coaching network and our coaching platform, which we just started, the Boeckle Brothers Academy, where we're teaching, we have about 50 students now, and we're teaching people how to flip and how to buy properties with no money out of pocket, very low dollars out of pocket, how to source properties from the MLS, which is something we specialize in and not a lot of others specialize in. So
could you ever get to a point where you provide funding for students?
Yeah, actually, like one of the things we were just thinking about implementing, so if you're a student and you're watching this, it's coming out soon, is since we talk so much about sourcing funds and types of funds, how to understand them, what price points you should be experiencing, like how to even negotiate with a lender, we do so much of that detail. Is benefit to our students is if you come in, we'll actually connect you with the lender. So like if you are needing funds, this is a national company, anywhere you are, even if you're brand new, we can get you access to money.
Yeah. And I mean, also on top of that, we're talking about opportunities that are coming about. In your way, it could be celebrity opportunities that come and use you as their platform. For us, we've had multiple people reach out lately. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to quite capitalize yet because we need to figure it out now. But hey, I have a deal in Georgia that I want a JV on. I'll run the entire deal. I just want you to fund it. We're so open to doing that. We just need to wrap our minds around how that looks in multiple states at the same time.
That's what I was getting to, is
huge.
like having access to a hedge fund where you vet it. They trust your experience and your eyeballs for looking at deals. They have the money. You get some type of cut or a broker fee or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you provide value to the students such that they don't feel like there's any part missing when they sign up for the course or mentorship or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's about the channel's great, but not really banking on revenue from the channel. It's about those auxiliary projects and things that can come from it.
I think you have a fork on YouTube where you either go for the views, which is my route, or you go for back-end funnel, or the third option, which is what most people do and don't choose either, and they have no channel that goes nowhere and no purpose.
And I don't want that.
Yeah, but if you have like a back-end, you can actually make significantly more than I do.
Yeah.
Because you can, I mean, one viewer, if it's the right viewer, maybe a business opportunity, and before you know it, you're making $1 million a year, but based off one viewer.
There's no limit to any of those opportunities.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, so like where are we going next 6 months with the channel? I would like to learn how to pay more attention to the path that's being laid by analytics. So just to your earlier point, I'm doing something that gets me 10,000 views and I do another thing that gets me 50. Why am I not going to shift and go down that path? So we haven't quite learned how to grasp that yet. I don't know if we've had enough videos to even show us that light yet on which way to walk, but that's where I want to focus. I want to focus on making more effective content that gets more reach and more response. And so trying to learn what works, what doesn't, and then tailor our content down that path.
It's years.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the zone right now. Like I have so much momentum. I'm like the titles of the videos just like come to me right away. The thumbnails I make in 10
minutes. That stuff is just magic.
Yeah, it's just done. I just have like a conveyor belt at this point where a topic comes in, I feed it right through. I have certain criteria I look for, and then it just feeds right into the system.
Yeah. It's awesome to have that type of system. But I mean, in my mind, it's like we're real estate guys. And would you say, with your experience from going to real estate, studying YouTube and real estate guys on YouTube, and then now being more of a trending news portrayer, let's say, real estate is going to naturally get less views because it's more of a niche market than, hey, why is Floyd Mayweather going broke again?
Yeah. You know? It's one of the hardest niches on YouTube is real estate. The benefit is you get an awesome viewer, generally have a little bit more income, generally can be a little savvier investor. So there's opportunities if you can capitalize on the back end funnel. Our friend Ryan Pineda does this excellently. Absolutely. His views as far as YouTube goes, views per subscriber count is actually really low. However, he monetizes excellently. So if you can figure out ways to do that, obviously, if the goal is income and helping students, you can have both of them on one path. You don't really need that many views.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit. But the downside is it's just so hard.
Yeah.
I have a buddy, Chandler David Smith, who makes excellent real estate content, as credible as any, and it's just hard to get views.
Interesting.
And when I say views per subscriber count is the number I'm looking at.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's just hard because even if you're a real estate investor and you follow your advice, if you go buy a flip, most people can only do one every 5 or 6 months.
Right.
So they might watch a couple of videos and you guys are so good. It's like a personal trainer. If a personal trainer is amazing after 2 or 3 sessions, like you literally taught me everything I know, they're not going to come back. Well, same thing with real estate is if you kind of learn everything, then you go apply it. You don't really have to come back day after day to follow how to talk to a hard money lender, how to find the materials or whatever.
It's cycles of these projects and things that people may take information and then go act on too are months long. So they get, I learned how to find a property. I learned how to lock it up and get some funding for it. Okay, well, I'll see you in 6 months. So when I'm done with it.
I think the goal is to have multiple different content types. So the how-tos is one, even though I think that's the hardest to really grow. It's just been done so many times before. Right. So the how-to is one, to at least establish credibility and build a brand. And then some type of news related. How does this affect real estate? we were talking about the war, some type of like trending. How does this affect? And you can always tie it back to, or Vegas specific if you want to go super niche, and then maybe something a little more broad, analyzing or commenting on Steve Aoki's house or this new. I mean, these are getting bought and sold every day. If you're on Instagram, you can see these huge $1 million houses, multi-million-dollar house in LA. Maybe you can speak about, one time we did a mansion and this is the material we used, and give your insight so people can see it's like, okay, building credibility, it's interesting, and it's more broad so you can get more audience. The thing with YouTube is you always have to be getting new audiences. Or the tough thing about YouTube is you're always either growing or dying. I don't think there's a middle ground. And you either get momentum going upwards or downwards. It's just the way the algorithm works. And so when it's going upwards, like it is for me right now, it's like a high that can't be matched by anything else. Right. But unfortunately, if you're receiving on the other end where the channel's dying, if you're not reaching out to new people, your audience is only going to watch so many videos that you put out. So, slowly die out.
That's
so
really
you always got to be, you always got to be finding new audiences, which is generally why the traditional path is people start super niche and then they start broadening it out. And then at 50, 100, 150,000 subs, they then get super broad, and they become like a Meet Kevin. He did it excellently. Meet Kevin was real estate specific, and then kind of exposed, and then boom, he goes into like daily stimulus and stock market.
Everything
you kind of have to, you go super broad.
So, what's your goal for the year in terms of subscribers?
1 million by the end of the year. I'm pacing for it. Social Blade has me hitting it right before the end of the year. Sweet. So 1 million subs. I think I'd hit 100 million views as a channel, and then 6 houses in my portfolio with hopefully 1 or 2 Airbnbs. And then I've always wanted to land a date with a hot influencer. That's been my goal. Like a blue check mark.
You know who's a good one?
No.
Who's the golf caddy at Chimera?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if she's verified, but I'll have to show
Cassie?
her. Yeah, I think it's something like that. You golf?
I can.
Okay, perfect.
My parents live on a golf course, so
that's all
I've been golfing since
so you just got to go to Chimera. Who is it, Austin?
Give her a quick shout out in this video. Yeah. I did get to meet her. Yeah, that was cool.
Jesse met her.
Yeah.
No, I just think it'd be really cool.
She's local, so it's easy.
If I get like big enough where you could start like the dating happens through Instagram instead of like the traditional methods.
Dude, that'd be sweet.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'm married. And you're on your way.
I'm on my way.
Oh yeah, you've missed out on the fun of
all the fun
on social media.
Yeah, Cass Holland. That's her.
Yeah, Cass Holland.
So shout out Cass Holland. Hey, you need a quick date. This is a really good guy right here.
That's so funny. She's one of the 10,000 people that'll watch this. That'll be funny.
Yeah,
no, but what's crazy too is people start like you never know who's watching. That's the other thing with YouTube, man. Is like you might have 3,000 views. Oh, it didn't grow or this. Dude, I did a video with Ryan Pinedo, right? We did it. It was the biggest bomb at the time. I did it. How we should invest Giannis's money, the famous NBA player, right? And we knew it would bomb, but I was like, Ryan asked, I wanted to do a video with him, and I thought it was an interesting video. The next day, Ryan texts me. I wake up and he's like, dude, Giannis reached out to me. It was a bomb, right? By all YouTube metrics, it was a failure video, but Giannis watched it. Now, did he watch it? I don't know. It was probably, one of his friends watched it and sent it to him. But anyway, the point is, like, you might only be one
degree
removed. And if they like your stuff, maybe at some point they go, hey, and then before you know it, you're in front of Giannis, and Giannis is like, look, guys, I trust you. I've got $10 million. Boom, there's your trust fund, or there's your fund.
So really, who cares about that video that bombed?
Yeah, and that's the point of like the back end funnel, which is what I'm jealous of because I'm hustling like all day for views, and it works for me right now. But oh my God, when I see some of these guys that have affiliate offers, and like last year I made $150,000 with affiliates, and I'm like, dude, all the videos were already made, and you made how much?
We just got our first affiliate offer.
We got our first paid sponsorship offer. Yeah.
$1,000 for two videos.
All right.
Yeah.
Just don't ever promote scammy crypto or NFT.
No, it's actually
you'll get a video on my channel.
It's a great company.
It's a really good company.
It is. It's a great company.
Just make sure to vet because you never know, man. Like at some point you could get big and people look back and go, you guys wanted a scam.
Oh, of course.
It's a solid company. We're excited about it.
Good.
It's kind of cool. But once again, $1,000 came out of our social media. It wasn't paid by YouTube, but it stemmed from all the activity that we've done over time and the consistency of it. So it goes to show what it can do for you.
It's super powerful, man. I dislike a lot of aspects of it, but now that I'm kind of on the other side of the coin where some people like label like influencer, it's like, whoa, this is I tell everyone, dude, it's worth every minute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're just starting out, like just hustle for 5 years. And if you're able to get over that line, worth every minute.
That's the thing is so many people just won't do that. Like we were just talking about this the other day, the ratio of people, I think Austin brought it up, the people that actually consume content on social media platforms to the people that actually create. It's like 0.001% that actual are creators on there. So the fact is the matter is just go do it.
And what's crazy too that I found is when people become creators, when they want to become creators, what do? They become power users, because if they're smart, they then look at people, what are they doing? So even the people that weren't on the platform, they're like, oh, the YouTube thing. Wow, I need to become a YouTuber. Yeah. Well, then they become, oh, what do people do well? They end up watching 30 videos a week for the 2 they create.
Sure.
So that's why I welcome competition, because it always brings more people to the platform.
Of course.
I'm super bullish on all social media influencers. I think the next like big wave, like 2010, we had like this cool wave of the startups in the Silicon Valley. Let's go to Silicon Valley, all these cool little startups. I think the next big wave is influencer companies. We're already seeing it with KSI Logan Paul Prime. We're seeing it with many others. Nelk Boys came out with their Happy Dad drink. Yeah. These are $100 million companies in 6 months. Right. This has never been seen. And so like when you have reach and attention, and then you have like a natural product fit, I think this is the next.
There's honestly like new genres of companies coming up where like they're applying old structures, like how you have, let's say, celebrity agencies, PR publicists for people on Instagram, people on TikTok. Like these are literal influencer agencies now, which is something that did not exist 2-3 years ago.
I mean, when you post something and you have 10, 20 million eyes on you just to post on Instagram, I mean, that's better than any commercial out there.
Do you know what the Super Bowl ads were going for?
Commercials.
No. Did you see? $6 million for a 30-second ad on Super Bowl.
Wow.
That is roughly, 50 million views, but it's also not targeted. You don't know if they're really watching. You don't know if they're engaged. When you're on social media, you know how engaged you are. Like if I click on your video to learn how to flip houses, I'm sitting there watching. You have my attention. So if you guys have some type of promotion or offer, like if you only have 10,000 views, so be it. But that's still 10,000 targeted, engaged. You know the audience. You have data on the numbers.
Mm-hmm. How many followers do you think you need on Instagram for a company to pay you $1 million for a post?
Ooh, you would probably need to see. Well, let's see. I know certain numbers. So if you're in the finance niche, they generally pay up to 50 per 1,000. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you can, I'm not good with the numbers off the top of my head, but that would be roughly 500,000 eyeballs or something to get to get $1 million. I don't know, maybe 5 million, 10 million, or whatever the number comes out to. 50 per 1,000.
Okay.
And so if you're super targeted, or if you're a woman that sells only makeup in a makeup brand, obviously like a perfect market fit. To get $1 million, you need to be at Kim Kardashian's level, I think.
Right.
Sure.
I think she's the highest.
It's crazy.
But even let's keep it like 100,000, which is most people's a lot of people's yearly salary, $100,000. Yeah, more than that, 50 to 100,000. You might only need 5 million views, which a lot of people can get.
Yeah.
Even over a month, let's say over a month, 5 million views over a month. I get 4 to 5 million views a month. Mm-hmm. Imagine if I had like a perfect market fit with Cornelia Cola, like some type of.
If you're out there and you see, even his channel and you feel like you're a good fit, reach out to him.
Yeah, I mean, we just started going pretty consistently hard on Instagram Reels, and we just surpassed our first 100,000 view reel, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's why we have
TikTok's where it's at.
TikTok's doing okay too. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
You guys need
growing.
You need the sports cars though. You need the flashy sports cars with the wings up.
We just got to go rent one for the day. So everyone does.
I'd rather buy 2 or 3 Airbnbs though than that. That's the problem with us.
That doesn't make as good content though.
So yeah, not as sexy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
What's that say? $1 million per post for Kylie Jenner.
986,000 per post. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to be at there.
Million followers.
I knew. Is that Ronaldo right underneath? He has the most followers on Instagram in the world. So yeah, he's right up there too.
Growing up or teenage years, it was always, oh man, those people have no talent. Like the Jenners and Kardashians, and of course, like all the criticism. But like once you realize the value of attention, and you realize the skill is in getting attention. I'm not a fan of the way they've done it or the things they do. But
they're
still,
like smart with it.
Once you realize like the value of attention and why brands are willing to pay as much as they do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's nuts, man.
I mean, it's clear the power of social media is the new age wave of getting wealthy, being successful. You got to be able to market yourself and your company on social media. So to end today's podcast, let's tell those people who are just starting out on YouTube, give them one big tip and trick to be successful on YouTube.
Yeah, change your mind to know that it's going to be a 5 to 10 year journey.
Okay.
No, I think the best macro level advice is you need to look at the niche you want to be in and find the 3 people, 5 people that are doing it well, and just do the best you can to reverse engineer what they're doing well. I'm talking about getting it. I used to spend Friday nights hours scrolling through my feed and analyzing what thumbnails would pop out to me. Mm-hmm. And I go, that one caught my eye. Was it the red text? Was it the location of
what about it? Yeah.
What about it? Was it simple? Was it complex? I would do this for hours. And I'm not saying that led to where I'm at today, but maybe there was a factor. Yeah. And so that's the level of like analysis that I think people should be looking at. Like, what about Grant Cardone? Why is he successful? Is it the thumbnails? Is it the titles? What about the titles? Is it the release schedule? Is it every day versus 3 times a week? You know, all these things, all these factors, try to figure out what they're doing and then simply implement it and add your own twist.
Well, you're definitely crushing it. 25,000 plus a month, soon to be $100,000 a month this year. That's insane, dude. So congrats on all the success. Where can everyone find you on these social media handles?
Spencer Cornelia 1 is my Instagram.
Okay.
YouTube, Spencer Cornelia, the cuter one.
We'll tag all that.
That's my favorite text when people are like, oh, what's your YouTube? I'm like, Spencer Cornelia, the cuter one. Like, oh, it's always a funny joke.
We'll tag all that below. So if you guys please go and check out all of his stuff. Fantastic content.
Yeah, thankfully, if you just YouTube search my name, it's usually the first one.
You'll find it.
It's a very unique name.
Pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
He's exploding, so you'll definitely see him on there.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about today's interview, drop a comment below. We're always happy to answer.
Yeah. It was really nice having you on. I just got to say before we go, it was really nice talking to you. I'd love to have you back.
Yeah, so I'm right down the street.
Yeah, I know you're really close, but like let some things go for a few more months later on this year, whatever. Let's revisit this and see where we're at.
Done.
Awesome. So until then,
we'll see you on the flip side.